Have you considered using an online will or trust drafting system rather than using an attorney? Well, I'm going to give you 3 tips on why you should use an attorney rather than using an online drafting system. So stick around and join me. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Krista Hermance and I am the estate planning mom. Our practice is Hermance Law and we focus on estate planning for families that have minor children. Make sure to click that subscribe button and hit that bell to be notified when we upload videos here every Thursday. Today I'm going to talk about why I think it's better to use an attorney rather than using an online will or trust drafting software. This is experience that I have in dealing with clients that have tried to use the software prior and have then ended up coming to me after. So I will preface by saying that I have no experience using any of the online will or trust drafting systems that are out there. The ones that you might see online, you see Facebook ads for, or Instagram messages for, saying, do this will in 5 minutes. So this is really what I'm referring to. Okay, so the first thing that I have found is that people, when they use this type of software online, they don't necessarily choose the correct forms when putting their estate plan together. So while they think they only need a will, they might actually need a trust, and by not having the experience of an attorney to speak with and work with them on trying to figure out what the best estate planning tools are for them, they may not choose the right forms. In addition to that, you might choose a trust and you don't necessarily need a trust. Maybe it's just a will, or there's other documents included, power of attorney, advanced healthcare directive, guardian nomination. These are all documents that make up an estate plan. And if you don't know exactly what documents you need given your specific family and financial situation, you may not choose the documents that you actually need. Okay, number 2, this one is that once you have purchased the system and you're completing the online questionnaires to get all of your documents together, I have found from clients that the whole process can be very overwhelming when doing it online without having any attorney input. And so some of the examples there is, it's going to ask you questions about who to choose for specific roles. And it can be very confusing and it can be very overwhelming. And I found one client specifically, they purchased a whole trust plan online. As they started going through the process, they were very overwhelmed by all of the choices. They didn't know who to put in specific roles. They didn't know, what each role had. And while working with an attorney, I was able to go through all of the different types of roles with them, explain what each role does, and allow them to be able to choose, who they thought from their family and friends would be able to fit in those roles within their estate planning documents. Okay, and the last one, number 3. This one is once you get all of those documents online completed and you're reviewing them, unless you have experience in reading that, what we call legalese, it may be hard to really understand what some of the meanings are in the documents, and to make sure that when you're reading through it, that what you intended to be in there actually is in there. So one example I have is from a client. They did the whole online drafting system prior to coming to see me. They did it as an emergency because they were going out of town on vacation, and then shortly thereafter they came to see me. So as I was reviewing the documents, I noticed in the guardian nomination forms that they chose that while it started nominating guardians for their children, somewhere in there the language actually switched to then saying that they were nominating conservators for themselves. So it didn't even finish the guardian nomination that they thought they were doing, and they were actually nominating conservators for themselves that were the guardians that they wanted for their kids. Wasn't the same, but they didn't know that in just reading the language because they weren't familiar with it. So that is the 3 things that I think are reasons that using drafting software online isn't necessarily the best for everyone, and that you should consider speaking with an attorney to really understand, what are the documents that you need for your estate plan, what's going on with your family, what's going on with your financial situation, to make sure that you have all of the documents that you need to protect your family, to have a plan in place, and to give you peace of mind. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click that bell to make sure to be notified every time we release a video. Have a wonderful day.